Hello, I hope you're well. This is another Meals of the Week video. I've got a small grocery haul. No, it's not a small grocery haul at all. It's a big one actually. I'm just out in the garden grabbing some rhubarb. We're going to make some rhubarb crumble today. And it's basically, this is what I've fed my family for over the last week or so. Some meal ideas for you hopefully, and just a bit of a chat. So I hope you enjoy. Do subscribe if you do. Thank you. Good morning, missus. How are you? You up for a chat, or are you going in? I don't have dandelions for you right now, I'm sorry. It's okay though. So we kicked off weeknight dinners with a chicken curry. Now this was not spicy. I would prefer my curry to be spicy, but small children. So we're going to start off by frying off one very large onion and in my wonky pan. I love the wonky pan. Long may it live. So got that nice and fried off. If you're wondering what that giant jar is in the background, that's hibiscus. I use it in teas and as rabbit treats. Double duty hibiscus there. So I've got my chicken. We're just going to brown that off. It's just, I think there was 2 or 3 very, very large chicken breasts there that I decided to sear off. And then I'm starting to get all my spices and everything ready. I do not season things lightly. We season things very heavily, just not spicily, which is disappointing, I know. There's my garlic crusher. Lots and lots of garlic. I think I did like 6 giant cloves of garlic, which is why it's taking me so flipping long to get it in there. Come on, missus. And this is on double speed as well. If I had fresh ginger, I would use it. I don't, so that's ground ginger. That's some turmeric going in there. That is a metric ton of cumin. And garam masala, again, quite a large amount of that too. Always put your spices in before you put your liquids in so that they can toast and warm up. And same goes for your tomato paste, I do beg your pardon. You want to sort of cook out that bitter flavour. That's just a chunk of frozen coriander that I've had in my freezer for goodness knows how long. A couple of tins of tomato, rinse them out as well, get everything out of there, and get that heating up basically, making sure the chicken and everything is cooked through. Salt, pepper, as always. I go through a lot of salt and pepper. When you cook a lot from scratch, you use more salt than you think. I remember growing up in a household where salt was bad and we never put salt into anything. Oh, look, there's a toddler's foot hanging out over the pot there. That's good health and safety, Claire. Well done. So, yes, salt and pepper was considered bad. But then I also grew up in the 90s when fat was bad. And I cook with a lot of that these days as well. How the times change. Look at me tidying up as I go. Stellar mother there. Right, so once everything has come to and the coriander's melted, etc., what I did was stuck a lid on it and I got my rice going. So I have washed my rice. Please always wash your rice. Oh, look at that. I'm drinking some homemade blackberry wine. That's what that red stuff is in the plastic wine glass because I can't be trusted. I don't drink that much wine. But apparently plastic wine glasses are the thing. So what you can see there is a jar of stock that I pressure canned in my previous video that didn't seal. So I put it in the fridge and then I used it to cook my rice instead of just cooking it in water. Gave everything a bit of extra flavour. It was delicious. Probably a bit too much in that jar for that amount of rice, so I did drown it slightly, but it was fine. And I just popped some olive oil and some seasonings on some broccoli, bobbed that in the air fryer for a few minutes as our vegetable side. See, I can be healthy. It does occasionally happen. So that just went in for, I think it's 5 minutes I put on there. Right, once everything is done and drained, I added in some Greek yogurt. You can use coconut milk here, I often do, but one of my children prefers me to use yogurt, so that's what I had, that's what I'm using. Give everything a good stir there. Everything has been simmering away for a little while here, but not so long that the chicken breast has gone dry, because that's a bit of a no-no. I prefer cooking with chicken thighs, but I don't know about you. I've discovered that they have disappeared off the shelves recently. I just don't see large trays of chicken thighs anymore like I used to, which is disappointing because I much prefer it to chicken breast. But I don't know why that is, whether it's just that there's less demand for that, whether it's a manufacturing thing. I can't imagine why, because if there's chicken breasts available, there should be chicken thighs, surely. And that was it, all plated up. We had it with some poppadoms, some mango chutney, Love a bit of mango chutney. I have to put the mango chutney on it when I serve it, though, because if I put it on the table, all the kids do is point at the jar and go, "More, please." No, it's not an entire chutney meal. And if you're wondering, do my kids actually eat this food I serve them? Well, that's Ed's plate. He's a good eater. And that's my plate. I'm less of a good eater, but I kept being distracted halfway through. Lilith, she's done a sterling job there. Crack on. And Freya, so yeah, they are good eaters. And yes, I do get the Hoover out after pretty much every meal. If you have or have had small children, you will feel my pain. Right, so let's take a look at what we've got. Do bear in mind this is the once a month big top up, and then I'll top up with milk and fruit and veg throughout the month. So over here, I'm going to try not to get my finger in shot because I've got a great big cut on it. Got some bacon, always important. I don't like the Stamford Street bacon, it's too salty, so we got that. Some little strawberry and apricot yogurts. As you can see, these have already been tapped into. Yogurt for me, very important. We normally go through 2 or 3 blocks of cheese this size a month. I don't know, is that unusual for a family of 4? Big bag of apples, these will be gone in a couple of days. Raisins, I split them up for snacks, granola, things like that. Some tuna in spring water. Pineapple slices, can't go wrong with that. Pizzas, etc. We've got some beans. I've got 6 tins of beans because we go through quite a lot of those. I do have quite a lot in the cupboard, but I hate the idea of running out. 2 things of coffee. Also got 2 things of their toilet paper. I quite like the Stamford Street toilet paper, and I like the fact that it's in paper packaging, even though it does make getting it home without ripping it a little bit tricky. Ready to eat custard. Anyone else's kids just absolutely love bananas and custard, or tinned apricots and custard, something like that. I don't know. I did it a lot as a kid, but my husband thinks I'm weird. Big thing of whole milk. I do a lot of baking and a lot of brewing. As you can see, that's Ed's home brew on the go in the back. So we do go through a fair bit of sugar. A few things of gluten-free pasta. I'm slowly getting over the fact the price of this is now 90p a bag, but there we go. Some green beans. 1 pack will do 1 meal for the 4 of us. The girls thankfully love them. I did get some yellow sticker new potatoes, reduced down to 99p. Didn't think that was bad. These were on a next price. Can't remember what the next price was. I used to always just get the cheapest of the cheap dishwasher tablets, and I didn't think it actually made a difference. But my dishwasher is on its last legs, and it actually, using the posh ones, does make a difference now. Lots of bin bags. I always seem to be running out of bin bags these days. I don't know why. 2 boxes of honey hooplas and a big box of wheat biscuits, or knockoff Weetabix for the kids. I'm going to make a beef stew with a red wine gravy over the next couple of weeks, so we'll do that. And 2 of these Stamford Street jumbo kitchen rolls. And let's get on to the chilled stuff. So one thing that I can't show you because we're already hacked into is it was my oldest's 4th birthday. I can't believe I've got a 4-year-old, it's bonkers. So she wanted a unicorn cake. I'll put a picture on screen of what that looked like. And for myself and my dad, who are celiac, we got a gluten-free carrot cake, so we did that. Somebody's already removed the packaging and one of the oranges, but we've got some oranges. 2 things of sausages, yellow stick of venison meatballs down to £2.39, can't knock it. And extra lean diced beef down to £4.19. Not the biggest saving in the world, but you know, you take what you can get, don't you? But this, I love cooking with this. At least once a month I either do a tray bake or red beans and rice or something like that with this sausage. It's really good kielbasa. Some more diced beef, yellow sticker, should have been £6.95 down to £5.54 for 500 grams. This was the month of beef. I very rarely buy beef because it's so expensive now, but I've got a lot. £3.79 reduction for the pork loin steaks. Pork roasting joint was crackling. It's the kids' favourite thing in the world. So this, I can't remember what this was initially because they put the sticker over it, but it was down to £5.70, so we got that. Bit of gluten-free bread for me and my dad because I can't be bothered to make any today. And a metric ton of bananas that we all know will be gone in 2 days. But these were the exciting ones. So these were on the next price and they were half price. Who is paying £29.25 or £29.27 for a roasting joint? Not me. That's quite the luxury. But it was on Nectar price for half price, so I paid $14.63 for each of them, which I guess is fine. So one of them I will cut up to do that stew with, because I'm going to do a big batch and can it. So these two little ones, I'm going to cut it, I'm going to need more. And the other one will actually have as a big roasting joint. On this day, I decided to resurrect my kombucha. I love kombucha. I make it often. However, I think I'd been being particularly lazy about it for a little while. So I just kind of let it turn into a SCOBY hotel. If you're wondering what I mean by SCOBY hotel, you see that great big gelatinous thing in the big jar just behind that funnel? That is a SCOBY of live active yeast and whatnot. So all I'm doing here is I'm prepping my bottles. When you see these bottles on my countertop, it's not alcohol, it's for kombucha. That's some powdered ginger that's going in there, and I'm going to add some sugar as well. And that is what will, in the secondary ferment, make it fizzy. And then once I've put a teaspoon of sugar, a teaspoon of ginger in the bottles, I go in and scoop out some kombucha and add that in as well. There is a spigot, I know, a wee tap on it, but it gets blocked with the yeast, so it's no good. So I just use this plastic label. The big jug to your left there is some fresh tea, sweet tea with sugar in it, that's cooling down to room temperature to go into it. So I will have more in a few days' time. Now, for dinner this night, the girls weren't particularly hungry. Everyone wanted a picky tea, so it was leftovers and bits, but my daughter got a hold of the cucumber and chewed through the wrapper. So I salvaged what I could, chewed off the pre-licked bits, and just did some leftover pizza, some salami, Ed and I had goat cheese with spicy apple chutney on some crackers, some sauerkraut. I made some mint yogurt dip as well to go with everything. Just a bit of a picky tea, really. That's peanut butter for my oldest apple slices. For the next evening, I thought I'd actually cook something. I wanted to make a massive batch of chili con carne so that I could put leftovers in the freezer. There's a white onion and a red onion going in there. Lovely big cast iron pan that. I've had that pan for years. It was a wedding gift. And this year I'll have been married for 15 years. So, oh, then there's an Ed. That might have been me telling him to go away. I'm trying to film and cook. I hate these vacuum seal packets of mints. I know it's better for the environment because it uses less plastic, but I just find it makes all the mints sort of stick together in one big clump, and I don't like it. But, I'll get over it eventually. Look at me being organised, though. I've got everything out ready to go, almost like I'm a proper grown-up YouTuber. So once all my meat is browned off, then we start adding various bits that I found lying around my house. There's some peppers that have come out of my freezer. Goodness knows how long they've been in there, just bell peppers. Get those in there and going. I like a lot of veg in my chili, to be honest. I know some people will say it's not authentic, but that's fine. Salt, pepper, as per normal. This is my homemade vegetable stock powder, so it's just vegetables that I've dehydrated and blitzed up. I sneak extra veg into everything. I think that's cumin that's just gone in there. Large quantities of paprika as well. That is another coriander ice cube. I'm getting through stuff. I'm using stuff up. Don't judge the state of that drawer. Oh, look, the garlic press is out again. Again, I think I've had that for 15 years as well. I've had a lot of things in that house for 15 years. So there's my garlic going in there. Don't add your garlic first. It will burn. I like a lot of garlic. This is actually dried sweet corn. I dehydrated it. So I've had it rehydrating in some boiling water, and this chili will cook for a while, so it'll finish rehydrating in there. It's brilliant for space saving. Come on, girl. Those are some of the kidney beans that I canned last week. They come in very handy. I haven't had to pre-soak and cook them for this particular meal. This is the dregs of a tube of tomato puree. Just using things up from out my fridge as well. I'm going through a bit of a use up phase. I'm trying to be good about things. A couple of tins of tomatoes. This is why I buy so many tins of tomatoes, because I absolutely go through them at a rate of knots that you wouldn't believe. I'm going to try and can as much as I can myself this year, but I know for a fact that I'm still going to end up having to buy tins of tomatoes because that's just the nature of things. Right, secret chili ingredient, dark cocoa powder. I'm going to put a couple of large teaspoons of this in. It doesn't make it taste chocolatey, it just makes it taste richer and darker and just umami-ish. So get all that mixed in, and then what I'll do is bob the lid on it, put it on a low heat, and let it go for about 20-25 minutes. whilst I'm doing that, I've also cooked some rice. You've seen me cook rice. I don't need to repeat that process for you. But look at it after it's had chance to properly come to after that 25 minutes. It's glorious. If you could smell it, you would be very happy, I promise you. And it's a huge pot of chili, this, from one 750-gram pack of mince. So we got many, many meals out of this. It really does help stretch it further when you add all the beans, the veggies, and all of that. If you were feeling fancy, you could add sour cream, do whatever you want to it. I didn't have any of that in, and it was just lovely as is. So there we go, chili con carne, a la Claire. Right, it is dinner time. I haven't made dinner yet, I need to get on that. So I've got some wooden skewers here soaking because I don't want them to catch fire in my air fryer. I have a pack of 4 pork loin steaks. They were reduced to £3.79 for all 4. Should have been £4.75. I got these ones at Sainsbury's. I'm a bit bored of eating plain pork. We seem to be eating a lot of it recently. I got them out to defrost last night. You can still see they're ever so slightly still frozen, but they'll be fine. And I've got a bell pepper cut up in here as well. And I'm going to do a very quick marinade / sauce for them. And we're going to basically turn these into kebabs. That's what we're doing. Wash my hands again. Right, I'm going to put some pineapple in because who doesn't love pineapple? These are pineapple rings. So I'm just going to quickly cut some of them. I'm not going to use the whole tin, I don't think. So I'll just cut up maybe half. Basically, when I don't know what I'm doing and I'm making it up, soy sauce, mustard and honey. They just go with everything, but especially pork. You could go full Chinese style if you wanted to. I'm just conscious that the kids' bedtime is in like 30 minutes and I am not prepared for this eventuality. So let's give it all a good mix. Let's give up on that, shall we? I'm going to get my hands dirty anyway. Don't forget to turn your sticks over. Right, we have our mixture and it is simply a case of starting to thread, beg your pardon, everything on. And then we can get this in the air fryer. I'm going to start off at, I don't know, 200 degrees for 10 minutes and see how we go. It may take longer. Right, I have my skewers. As you can see, I have some left. What I'm going to do is waste not, want not. I'm going to pop that in a Tupperware, shove it in the fridge, and I'm going to have that as a stir fry for my lunch tomorrow. So let's crack on. Into the air fryer we go. Oh, smells good. Excuse the lighting, but it is very, very bright out there. Yeah, this is dinner. I put some sweet chili sauce on mine and Ed's because we like a bit of spice, and plain rice is not that exciting, but the girls love plain rice. So pander to the toddlers. It makes weeknight dinners easier. Right, I'm sort of winging this, to be perfectly frank. I've seen a recipe. I'm sure it's lovely. So here is my cast iron pot. My oven is preheating to 180, I think, maybe 190. This is the fresh rhubarb that I just picked, but it is not enough. That is insufficient rhubarb. Thankfully, I have some more in the freezer. So there's one bag. And another. I don't think I need all of this. Yeah, that's enough. This is the first year that my rhubarb is actually doing anything, so it's coming in dribs and drabs. This is the last of the brown sugar I have. Ideally, I'd use brown sugar for all of this, but I don't have enough. So that's going on the to-buy list. I'll pop in some white sugar as well. I know that probably seems like a lot of sugar, and it is. I'm going to put in a generous amount of cornstarch, maybe 1.5, 2. Is 2 too much? I think 2 might be too much. I guess we'll find out. Tablespoons of corn flour and a splash of vanilla. Funnily enough, I'm not the biggest rhubarb fan personally. I'll eat it and I do like it. It's just not the first thing I would choose, but it's so easy to grow that I kind of feel obliged. Oh no. This is an advert for wearing a pinny, if ever there was one. Nice. And now onto my least favourite thing. Funnily enough, for somebody who cooks as much as I do, I hate touching flour. It's like a texture thing. I can't touch chalk either. That drives me absolutely bonkers. Just, I don't like it. Makes me really uncomfortable. I don't know why. I have no explanation. But anyway, the things we do for pudding, eh? So I've got some very, very cold butter here. I'm going to chop into cubes. I could do this in my food processor, but I found when I've done that in the past that it gets too fine and you end up with a sort of, it's not a crumble as such. I don't know if that's a function of the fact that I'm using gluten-free flour or whether it's the texture, whether I let it go too long, I don't know, but I'm going to try and do it as sort of tradition suggests and we'll go from there. This is about 190 grams-ish. There was a fair bit cut off that packet. Okay, more sugar. You fit in my jar? You look more promising. So this is gluten-free self-raising flour. I'm not going to bother adding any xanthan gum in. Normally I do whenever I'm baking, but the glutinous quality of flour is not important. Right, come on Claire, psych yourself up. You can do this. You can make breadcrumbs, well, it's not breadcrumbs, breadcrumb-like texture. That's what we're going for here. Apparently this is really tricky to do if you're somebody with good circulation because your hands warm up the butter too quickly. That is not a problem that I have. My hands are always freezing. Oh, this feels horrible. Well, that was a deeply unpleasant experience. But rhubarb crumble, which, yeah, I know I said rhubarb's not my favourite. It's not my favourite, but I do like it, so I will enjoy it and it will be worth it, is what I'm telling myself. Okay, so I'm going to bake this for 45-50 minutes. And hopefully magic will happen. I'm feeling optimistic. It looks sandy enough, doesn't it? Some big pockets of butter, but I'm not touching it again. Oh, why am I like this? Oh, that smells good. That smells really good. It does look a little bit anemic, I will say that, but gluten-free stuff often does. I don't know what the science behind that is, but it is what it is. So I'm going to let it sit for a little bit and then we'll have some. Okay, moment of truth. This is probably going to be nuclear hot, isn't it? That is so good.